Hi, I'm Nikos Panagiotou, Associate Professor at School of Journalism and Mass Media Communications, Aristotle University, Head of the Digital Communication Network Southeast Europe Hub, and
my name is Anthi Baliou and I'm a Ph.D. candidate and a researcher at the Department of Journalism and Mass Media in the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki.
I would like to welcome you in today's session, which is part of DigiBoost, organized from Digital Communication Network, and with the aim to discuss important issues that we have to have in mind in order to understand disinformation. Our today's session is about media literacy and how it can combat disinformation, what we need to know in order not to bait from fake news. Anthi, Pope visited Washington, D.C. Let's watch the video.
So, as you can understand, this is a not real video. It's a typical example of fake news. Let's see why.
All the elements give you the impression that it is a real one. We see CNN logo, we see Washington Time live, we also see the bishops, we see the Pope from a real visit. Secondly, the duration. It's short, does not last long. And thirdly, it's impressive. It attracts the attention easily, while it is easy to share it with our network, through our social media, because it's something that makes us laugh, and most importantly, it's a miracle. It is something unusual. So it makes us believe to it.
So disinformation campaigns are professional and coordinated, not unlike marketing campaigns. And just like marketing campaigns, they're designed to achieve specific results.
Before we get started, do me a favor and think, how many hours did you spend consuming media content this day?
Today, media no longer just shape our culture, but they are our culture. 8 to 18 years old spend an average of 9 hours on entertainment media.
So this means with all these loads of information, all this time that we spend in media, we have to turn ourselves into information processors.
Never before in history have humans spent so many hours consuming media content. Since it's taking up more and more of our time, it is important that we understand its influence. Our brain processes all sorts of information from a variety of sources.
And sometimes we no longer wonder whether the information that we receive is true or not.
We believe it right away.
We react to it right away.
We no longer think twice before we respond.
So, how can we respond to that? A crucial question.
The answer is by being media literate.
The answer is being news literate.
So what describes what media literacy is about? Media literacy is an essential life skill which defines our consumption, production, discovery, evaluation, and sharing of information, and our understanding of ourselves and others in the information society.
News literacy, from the other end, it is part of media literacy. It describes the more specific ability that we should have in order to understand the language and convention of news, and also to recognize how this future can be exploited from malicious actors, from people that want to spread fake news. Because as we have seen before, What we expose ourselves at affects us more and more in comparison with the past.
So what this is all about? It's about taking a step further. It's about digging a little deeper. It's considering a little longer. It's thinking a little harder about the information that you get.
These actually are the steps that describe media and news literacy in practice. So now, at this part, we will respond to the major question: is and how media literacy could be the magic bullet for fake news.
So let's discover how to get to go below the surface. Challenge wisely, creatively, and critically.
In order to do so, you will have to have in mind the following 4 crucial questions. Questions that you should be trained to ask yourself whenever you see a video in TikTok, whenever you see a post in Facebook, whenever you see something in Telegram, or you read something in WhatsApp. These 4 questions should be asked every time you come up with a content that you are in doubt of. What are these 4 questions? Who created the message? Who is the source of the message? Secondly, what creative techniques are being used in order to attract our attention? In case that you see a lot of creative techniques, if you see this constitutes an effort to grasp our attention. Thirdly, what values and views are represented in message? Are they extreme ones? Be careful. Fourthly, why this message has been sent from this source? In addition to these 4 questions, what you need to have in mind in order not to bait, in order to avoid fake news. Firstly, avoid messages that encourage you in action. If you love, retweet this. If you believe in that, retweet that. Avoid these messages or be suspicious. Secondly, the messages that create a fake consensus. For example, the #1 trending can't be wrong. The #1 hashtag can't be wrong. Yes, it can, and it can also be a fake news trap. Also avoid titles that speak loud in order to grasp your attention. Titles such "You will not believe in your eyes," don't miss it. Pay attention. You should pay attention and look beyond the surface.
So in addition, pay attention to sources. Sources that you know, sources that you trust, sources that you know who is the owner, sources that have a policy of correction.
But we need you to do more than that. It is required to do more things than that, because you are part of a community, you are part of network, you are part of a society. And what you need to do is to label fake news in order to act as a warning for other users, in order to tell actually the other users, don't bait it, be careful. This is fake news, because as we have seen, if many users label fake news, you are actually doing more things. You actually help other users not to take them into advantage. You help them actually to avoid fake news. So, following the labels that we should actually use in order to spot fake news, to alert the users. A very characteristic element, it is the situation of media literacy in Europe. Let's see the relevant statistical details. As you can see, this statistical data show us the importance of media literacy in order to combat fake news. And for the end, what we should keep in mind.
Be wise.
Be media literate.
And most important, think before you share.